sharing. I will now ask Wolgang Baumann to come maybe to me with the mic. It's better. You're the Secretary General of TAFISA. Everyone knows you, I think, here maybe. And member of the IOC, Sport and Active Society Commission. And TAFISA has a mission 2030. Can you tell us about the mission?
This is indeed a great pleasure, since TAFISA is quite proud about this paper. I've brought you a copy of this paper, and of course you would say just another policy paper for a global strategy to fight obesity and physical inactivity. Okay. And I have to admit, it looks like it. It is black and white, it is A4 format, it has no pictures, so it fits totally into this cupboard or drawer of papers from WHO, UNESCO, maybe the Dutch government, no idea. However, this is the good news, it is different. Because for the very, very first time, the Sport for All community, the global Sport for All community, put this together. And number two, we are not asking other people to do something. It's our commitment to say what we can do to make the world a better place by making use of 12 themes that came from our membership. It's not that we did it top down, it's bottom up, and that's why we are getting a full support. So far, nearly 100 countries, including Dutch organizations, have signed this paper, and heritage and traditional sport is also one of these 12 themes. So this makes it a little bit different, and 12 themes, 12 years from now to 2030 will guide us, and however, we are very happy that we have this full support of our membership.
So what's your ambition in 2030?
2030, we truly believe, I mean, let's put it maybe a little bit more provocative. When I started to work in this field of Sport for All, I can see Wim Florijn sitting there, he was one of my colleagues at that time. This was at the end of the 70s. And I have to say, we complained about the same deficits and failures as it is now. It's a nightmare, I have to tell you, because the statistics in 1978 or 82 were just the same as it is now. It appears our work was not successful at all when it comes to ask people to be more physically active. So our big dream is to change indeed a little bit the reality from now on to 2030, that we can say there has been some change in terms of.
Okay, but I'm going to teach you a little bit now. It's not on my paper, but I'm very interested. So what must be then different than in the 70s? Why are you so positive that it will change?
I tell you a story which I believe increasingly very well explains and illustrates the question that you're putting forward. When I did my diploma in sport science in the 70s, the landscape of sport was very, very simple. The only issue we had was how to learn to practice 20 big sports, volleyball, track and field, and so on. The picture of sport has totally changed. And I was a witness of one of these groups today. It is not anymore that people have to adapt to sport, to the rules, to whatever. It's now the other way around. The sport has to adapt to the people. Just here in front, we are watching a sort of volleyball. Suddenly, because we are not sticking to the rules of preaching, I don't know the English words, and buggering, and whatever, by making it easy and simple, I don't want to go against the tradition. Okay. Suddenly, many more people can play. So, answering your question, the big difference is that now we are much more flexible when we talk about how to raise interest with the non-active sport people. Then we have a full concept of changed sports and make it easier for people to be active. Not in the 70s, not in the 80s.
Sports must change and make it a little bit sharp. Yeah. So how do you look to the cultural sport then? Can you say, must they change?
We have two key issues that help us to go through this process. It is tradition, and it is innovation. And what we learn from tradition, either copying and paste certain games and make them from games of the past to sport of today, or even stripping off their particulars, their specifics, and makes them something that is working even in our times, gives us a huge opportunity to reach people that we cannot reach otherwise. Last issue, we know from our Erasmus Plus project of last year that many more girls and boys that you believe can be attracted by traditional games and sports. It is not as if every boy wants to play soccer. Let's not talk about soccer right now. I'm coming from Germany. So there is a huge percentage of children. If we want to bring them to physical activity, not necessarily to sport with rules and everything, traditional sports can be a wonderful tool and instrument to increase sport participation.
Okay, last question from me then. This is heaven, of course. This is the mission of the world. But paper mostly go into the drawers, and it was nice written. In 10 years there will be a follow-up. So how do we put this mission, this movement on the agenda of the government?
About 2 or 3 days ago, Peter, Dennis, we had a TAFISA board meeting here in Herrenveen, and what we are doing indeed is to translate the words into action.
Yeah.
So we have a roadmap to Tokyo, which is our coming Congress in November next year, and we will have a special, very practical strategy for each of the 12 themes, good practices, literature and so on. So we hope we can really make it very practical, and that's it.
Thank you. Applause. It's a nice, I think we must follow up this Congress. We're now more in a mood for it, I think. Tomorrow it was too hot. But